This is 13 corporations that profited from slavery. So here we go. Number 1, J.P. Morgan Chase. Between 1831 and 1865, 2 predecessor banks, Citizens Bank and Canal Bank in Louisiana, accepted approximately 13,000 enslaved individuals as collateral on loans and took ownership of approximately 1,250 of them when the plantation owners defaulted on the loans. Number 2, New York Life, an insurance company, sold insurance policies on enslaved Africans. Number 3, Wachovia. 2 historical predecessors owned enslaved Africans and accepted them as payment. Number 4, N.M. Rothschild and Sons Bank in London. Nathan Mayer Rothschild, the banking family's 19th century patriarch, made personal gains by using enslaved Africans as collateral in dealings with a slave owner. I have a list of this, so if I stumble, it's because I have a lot of chicken scratch. Number 4, Norfolk Southern, offered slaveholders $180, that's $3,379 today. This article was written in 2013. So that's $3,379 today a piece for enslaved Africans they would rent to the railroad for 1 year. The Central Georgia, another company aligned with Norfolk Southern Line today, valued slaves at $31,303. Today that would be $663,033. Did I say that right? Yes. $663,033. Hopefully that came out right. Sounds weird. Number 5. U.S. Today found that their parent company, E.W. Scripps and Gannett, had links to the slave trade. Number 6. Fleet Boston. Evolved from an early financial institution, Providence Bank founded John Brown, who was a slave trader and owned ships used to transport enslaved Africans. The bank financed Brown's slave voyages and profited from them. Brown even reportedly helped charter what became Brown University. Number 7. CSX used slave labor to construct portions of U.S. rail lines under the political and legal system that was in place more than a century ago. 2 enslaved Africans were John Henry and Reuben. The record states they were to be returned clothed when they arrived to work for the company. Number 8. Canadian National Railway Company. The Mobile and Ohio, now part of Canadian National, valued their slaves lost to the war and emancipation at $199,691 on record. That amount is currently worth $2.2 million. Whew. Number 9. Brown Brothers Harriman, the oldest and largest private investment bank, founded 1818, owned hundreds of enslaved Africans and financed the cotton economy by lending millions to Southern planters, merchants, and cotton brokers. Number 10. Brooks Brothers, high-end suit retailer, got their start selling slave clothes to various slave traders in the 1800s. They got their start by selling slave clothes. Number 11, Barclays. British multinational banking and financial services company headquartered in London has now conceded that companies brought over the years may have been involved in the slave trade.
All right. So I played that first video. You notice she kept saying enslaved Africans, enslaved Africans, enslaved Africans. That's not really accurate. That's not accurate. On my mother's side, my great grandmother, they picked cotton. They were Sioux. They weren't Africans. My father's side is African. Her son was half African, was somewhat African, but Sioux and African. Her man had African bloodline, but he was also African and Native American. And so that information is very interesting. Renee, I just posted the poster that got off the internet. That's the information they was giving away. That's what the information they said to call, and that's what they posted. So when they're saying African, 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 that's not all the way accurate, right? And those that were African, I don't see I don't see where Africans did anything for them. And so they're saying African, 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 but I don't really see. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because of this right here. This is the Ghana's Minister of Tourism said Juneteenth is not just an American story, it's an African story and a Ghanaian story. Now, what the hell is she talking about? You know, I'm getting kind of sick of Africans. And what does Juneteenth have to do with Ghana or Africa? Like at this point, they're trolling. You see, this is why you have the xenophobia going on right now in South Africa. See, Africans are playing a very dangerous game playing with us. I'm going to just keep it real. They're not really making no friends. Because Juneteenth was hundreds of years after slavery, and Africans didn't do a damn thing for the slaves. I haven't read where not one African put no ships together, no soldiers together, or anything to come and rescue these Africans that they sold. So it's not like they was, come on. How do you sell your people to the Portuguese? How do you have slave castles all over Ghana and try to claim Juneteenth when you're the slaver? You're the slavers. The Ghanaians and Nigerians are the slavers. They are the ones that had the slave castles. They filled them up. The Portuguese and Spanish didn't even have to come that far inland. The Africans had the slaves right on the coast ready for them. That's all historical. They're going to have to get out the U.S. Trolling us is not smart. Not right now. Trolling us, okay. So why would I want you living over here? What I'm getting from Africans are they are the enemy. What do you want me to say? This woman ain't worried about no Africans telling her to shut up. So some kind of way she feels like it's fine within her people. This is not making us like Africans. We've already had the Yankee thing in the 80s with the Jamaicans and them. So they already, can't be trusted. Now here we go with this foolishness. Now what the hell do Africans and Ghanaians got to do with Juneteenth? That happened hundreds of years after slavery. All those slaves was bred over here. Right? All those slaves, by the time you get to Juneteenth, those babies were all bred over here. None of those babies nobody was from Africa anymore. Not to mention the white slave owners was getting the women pregnant too and putting those babies into slavery. Nobody had any connection to Africa by the time you get to Juneteenth. Juneteenth has nothing to do with Africa or Ghana. It's getting to the point like it's trolling, it's disrespectful. And America's really not the place to do that. Like, I don't know if Africans know what they're doing, They clearly don't understand foundational Black Americans, how we get down clearly. But the conclusion is Africans got to get out. I'm not comfortable with them over here. Because it's looking like if we get a bunch of Africans over here, it's like ops. These is like uh, 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 opposition. They gotta go. They gotta go. They gotta go. It don't matter. They gotta get the fuck out. They gotta go. They gotta go. They gotta go. We don't benefit from them. They're eating off our table. They get more and more disrespectful. There's no love there. And so now, how much do we want to give up off our plate for them? Because the Europeans ain't gonna give them nothing. So these Black immigrants coming over here, they gonna eat off of our plate. They're gonna get movies and play our heroes. They're gonna play. Nah, hell no. Nah, they gotta go. All of them, get the hell out. East Africans don't benefit us. What the hell we get from East Africa? What do we get from any of them? They all need to go back to wherever they came from. If you don't benefit us, then the hell with you. Period. Yeah, you don't deal with us, get the hell out. East, west, north, south, get out. If we can't eat with you, F you. You gotta go. You gotta go. All of them, get out. I'm not gonna be comfortable eating with them. I don't think I'm going to no Ethiopian restaurants no more. I think that's over with. Because I don't trust Africans anymore. I can't trust them. Time after time after time. You talking about East Africa. I know you ain't talking about up there in Minnesota. They talk about us crazy. Those is these Africans. So you clearly don't know what the hell you're talking about either. You don't know what you're talking about. Those are East Africans up there in Minnesota. They don't like us. Somalians talk about us like dogs. What the hell are you talking about? Somalians are definitely enemies. And then what are you? Are you a foundational Black American? Because I need to check your file. I need to check your file. Yeah, I gotta check your file because I gotta watch who I listen to over here. Because everybody just pretend they Black. Now you gotta start identifying yourself. Where you born at? Where your mom and daddy from? Where your grandparents from? I need ID. Things has changed. I need ID. I need verification who I'm talking to. My mother and father, Alabama. That's where we from. Both sides of the family. Identify yourself. Because it get to the point like right now, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I know you like, why I'm acting like that. Right now, things are getting real serious over here in the U.S. Things are getting real serious. Okay? Things are getting serious in the U.S. It's not 1970. And this is what happened too when you come to this country and your senses, you don't know what's going on. Like, this is not really the time to play with us. I'm going to tell you straight up. This is not the 80s. This is not the 90s. This is 2026. We're headed to 2027. And the simplest things get serious. And it's very serious right now. It's straight friend or foe. We already got to deal with who we got to deal with. And we don't need to be sandwiched. It's much easier for foundational Black Americans to just have to deal with white America and the issues over there. The other Black people that's walking around looking like us, playing like us, as enemies, they got to go. We can't trust you. That's your fault. You got to go. We're going to have to boycott them. Don't spend no money with them. Don't deal with them because we cannot trust you. We cannot. And they say, are you blaming all Africans? Absolutely, because that's the only way she would be comfortable with saying this. Other African brothers and sisters she should be worried about them saying, don't say that. And she's not. Why is she so comfortable with saying that? Why are they tethering to our history? Now, this is definitely a tether. If this not a tether, what the hell is? Juneteenth? What the hell you got to do with Juneteenth? Juneteenth is specifically a Black American holiday commemorating the end of chattel slavery in the United States, originating with the delayed news of emancipation reaching enslaved people in Galveston, Texas in 1865. What the hell happened in America in 1865 got to do with some Africans that had been selling their people since the 1400s and never came to do nothing? The only thing Africans got to say about slavery is they were some cowards and they sold their own people and they didn't come to help their people. They never showed up. Africans never showed up until we got free, period. That's your history. That's you Africans' history. You sold your own people, the ones that are Africans, because we all ain't even Africans. We was over here. But you sold some of your people. You left them over here. And then when you seen the coast was clear, you came over here. You didn't come to help nothing. You never came to help. You only came to eat off the table. That's your history. And we're going to make sure that be your history. That we never seen an African until the coast was clear, until all of the MLK and the dog sicked on us and all that. And after we went through all that, then you showed up. Now you're running over here now. You got to go back where you came from. You got to go back. You got to get out. You got to get out. We agree with the South Africans. Go back to your land. Go back where you at. This lady crossed the final line. She didn't cross. They crossing the line. You're crossing the line. With me, you've crossed the line. That's it. That's it. That's it. You crossed the line. You gotta go. Ghanaians, go home. Go home. Nigerians, y'all go home. Go home. Go back to where you love. Go back. We don't want to be your ally. We don't want you eating off our table. And we support ICE 100%. Grab you and get you out of here. Period. I'm telling foundational Black Americans, when ICE come for them, let them get them. Call ICE and put them on. I'm telling you. I've been trying to be down the middle a little bit, but this is the last straw. This is the last. Now you're in our struggle for freedom that you never. Unbelievable. I ain't seen an African nowhere in the 60s when I was growing up. What African ever did anything for my mother and father and my grandparents? Africans ain't did shit for us, but left us over here. You never done nothing for us. All you really ever done was come eat off our plate, to be honest with you. You've never done nothing for us. The only thing you could take credit for is having a lot of black people in this bad situation in the first place. But for this woman now to say Juneteenth is an African and a Ghanaian story, boy, let me tell you something. You black people running from Africa, y'all some slaves. You're running right back to the people that got you in this position, in this situation in the first place. If you even from over there, you don't even know if you're a Native American or not. This is the most disrespect I've ever seen come out of Africa. I've seen a lot of disrespect. I bumped head with a couple of Africans playing. They don't really play with us that much in Chicago, but in LA, they used to play a little bit. But this is the most disrespect I ever seen. This is total disrespect. Total. Way over there. And it's like the Ghanaians, they won't link up with the Nigerians. They won't link up with the Liberians. They won't link up with the Senegalese. Why is they always bothering us? Why don't they talk about other Africans over there? All of this is very suspicious. With all of them black people over there, why are they focusing on us? Because we got the money and we got the opportunity. I can't stand them. This was bad. This was bad. This right here is a big turning point. I'm telling you straight up. Africans got to get out. They got to get out. They got to get out. So stop going to them salons and going to them people. Them people don't like you. And people say you can't judge all of them. Well, get your people in. This is how things go. If your representative can say this with no fear from you, then you're all in the same goddamn boat. She feel like you're all in the same boat, or she wouldn't say that. Am I wrong? If she felt like other Africans would check on that, would she say that? She's saying it because they ain't going to say nothing, because they cool with it. You cannot tell me this lady just saying this on her own accord. She's saying it because she can be comfortably say that in Africa. She can say that in Africa. Because Africans is trying to claim something that they ain't got nothing to do. I don't think they ever changed either. I think they still the same evil people. Obviously. Obvious. I don't think we cannot trust Africans. This is clear. I'm done. I've made my final conclusion. We cannot trust those people. We cannot trust Africans. And this is not hate. This is clear separation. I don't want to hate you. I don't want to see you. I want you to go back where you came from. We're fine. We've been fine without you. And we don't want you over here talking about you black, tethering. Tethering. You got to get the hell out of here. I cannot believe this, Robbie. I tried my best to try to be somewhat diplomatic. Everybody, Lord knows I tried. I tried to be somewhat diplomatic, but especially consider that Africans ain't did a goddamn thing for us. What have Africans done for black people in the West? Not just us. What have Africans done for Trinidadians, Jamaicans, any blacks in the Caribbean? Name what Africans done for them. African haven't done nothing for no black people outside of Africa and don't do nothing for each other in Africa. So right there we should know. Right there we should know. The fact they don't like each other in the continent. What the hell make us think they're gonna like us? They some natural born haters over there. Look at South Africa and Ghana and Nigeria. How the South Africans want them to get out. That's why. And that's like a family of three brothers that's always fighting and hate each other. Then I try to make friends with them. What make me think any of them brothers gonna be nice to me when they hate their own brothers and sisters? Them Africans are some horrible people. They don't get along, and they only over here to eat. It's not a brotherly or sisterly bone in their body. They only over here to eat off our table because they ain't gonna let them eat off the white table. They're not gonna let them eat off of the Hispanic table or the Asian table. It's only one table they can eat off of, and they're coming. That's why that. Hey man, that's why that dude talking about doing them movies and playing all our roles and stuff like that. Yeah, we're not going to see none of them movies. If you want to play our roles, sell that shit in Africa. We ain't going to see that shit. They got to get out. Black women, stop going to them. Stop spending money with them. Because at least you know the Asians ain't no brothers and sisters. They Asians. At least you know whites ain't brothers and sisters. They white. We know black, white, Asian, Hispanic. But see, with the Africans, they real tethers because they can, like a chameleon, and they could kind of pretend to be you, which is more dangerous. They got to go. They got to get the hell out of here. I'm going to be on a heavy campaign against Africans as of tonight. That this right here, and they all got to feel it. Hey, if you innocent, take it up with this lady. Because basically she's saying we don't have no culture. Everything is out over there. This fool say Juneteenth is African. Now you can't get no more disrespectful than that. You can't get that. Whole time pretending. We got to find out who everybody is, and we got to boycott them. We got to find out who everybody is. If I find out, I'm not watching nothing you in. And if you're a foundational Black American, you're dealing with them, we're getting rid of you too. Listen, we can either trust you or we can't. And this is the last straw. And any Black immigrant, get your people, man. Like in Chicago, that's how we function in Chicago. If you live in a neighborhood and dudes in your neighborhood beefing with my neighborhood, dudes in your neighborhood got to get you in line or it's up. Ain't none of this, oh, it wasn't me. You live over there, you the enemy. Now you either go straighten them out or you with them. Ain't none of this, you don't straighten them out. You ain't telling them to stop. They beefing with us, but you ain't in the beef. Yeah, you in the beef. How the hell I'm supposed to know, who is who? Unless you make it clear you ain't with it. And Africans ain't gonna say nothing about this. They some users. I really ain't feeling them like that. Because I'm looking at it like the only reason she'll say that, because it's a general consensus. It's like no respect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they in there like they leeching. We got to stop watching them. We got to stop watching them. They lose their accents and everything, and they try to talk like us and walk like us and everything. But that's the only thing they do is copy us. They don't do nothing with us. You know you can't trust nobody like that. They got to get the hell out of here. Godfrey, Godfrey. See how he flipped. Godfrey always been a snake. He always been a snake. He just was talking like us and doing our impersonation because there wasn't no money over there. And now he's seeing there's some African money leeching off us. Now Godfrey's showing his real colors. He ain't never been shit. Man, we need to know anybody, any movie come out, let us know who's in there. If they not us, we not going. We not watching it. We not supporting it. Let them sell it in Europe. Let them sell it in the Caribbean. Let them sell it in Africa. We don't care where they get the money from. As long as they don't get none of our money. They can't get a dime from us. And they got to get the fuck out the country. They got to get out of here. I ain't calling for no violence. I'm just saying they got to get out of here. Yeah, they got to go. Every tether got to be identified, and it definitely is tether. If this is not tethering, what the hell is? This is clear. This is clear tether. This is tethers. Clear. And they're representing their people as tethers. This lady is saying that Ghanaians is tethers. That's what she's saying. Ghanaians cannot be mad at me. Your minister of tourism is telling us that you all are tethers, that you want to tether yourself to our history. You want to be perpetrators of slavery and tether yourself to our independence after the fact of the matter and never showed up to do a goddamn thing. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Africans have done nothing since slavery. I mean, nothing. Have not identified nothing until they seen us on TV and in sports, and they seen the Dr. J's and the Michael Jordans, and then they come start running over here. They never came over here for nothing but to steal and to eat off of somebody they don't even like. They don't even like us like that. Even inviting us to Africa is tethering. They don't want us over there. Look how many Black Americans went over there and spent money and had to leave. Repatch, that was a failure. Ghana only invited Foundation Black Americans over there to rob us of any money we had because they broke. It was never from the heart. Them people ain't got no love for us like that. Listen, I judge people by their own people. And for this lady to say that, that's all I need to know about Ghanaians and Africans. She is too comfortable saying that. If Africans was righteous over there, she wouldn't be comfortable saying that. They'd be like, don't say that. No, don't say that. She said it right out. This is the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen from Africans in my life. And I've seen them call us names. They ain't never called me no Akata. Because, I be on, what I'm saying? It's penalties. It's penalties if you're playing with the wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't never had no Jamaicans call me no Yankee or no Africans call me no Akata. Not in no LA, not in no Chicago. You know how that shit gonna go. That ain't gonna go right. But I always been in gang cities. So, and this is why the Crips got the beefing with the Jamaicans and chased them out of LA. Same reason. Disrespect. The disrespect got to go. Trying to tether to us, trying to connect yourself to us, and you don't even like us. Basically, they say that's basically what they say. If it wasn't for us selling you into slavery, you wouldn't be celebrated. Basically, man, listen, I'm finna be trash, man. Man, listen, I ain't gonna even do this. I ain't gonna even do this live too long, cause I'm gonna say the wrong shit. I'm a little too angry. So this is why, because I was like, but dang, why we just tethering them so much? Okay, I get it. You the one sold the people, right? During the transatlantic slave trade, various African rulers, merchants, and elites captured and traded enslaved people to European merchants in exchange for manufactured goods. So you the same one sold people. You the seller, right? So now the West Africans sold their people into slavery. And then the West African turned around and say, she responsible for they in on the freedom. They in on Juneteenth, the freedom. The seller wants respect for the freedom. That's why I know I couldn't go to Africa because I was in the crowd. I would have got up and cussed out. They would have locked me up. I can't go to Africa. I knew I couldn't go to Africa. The number one pick out of BYU, they can shoot basketball and do all that shit. I ain't going to see his goofy ass. He could shoot, he can run up and down, he can shoot the ball or do whatever. But here in Chicago, I don't want no Africa. I'm booing you. Man, listen. Don't nobody give a damn about nobody chasing no basketball. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody care. Don't nobody care about no nigga chasing no basketball for no white man. That's what they supposed to do. Come over here. Nobody care. Because if you get on that nerve, you know what's gonna happen. You still got to come outside. I don't know. Who is you? You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody care about that. Like, bro, you some kind of weirdo. You must be a stupid African. Got to be. It's the same thing I did to you. I blocked you. That's the same way we're gonna block him. Nobody give a damn about dude. He still can't walk these streets if we don't want him to. He shoot basketball. You already know about Chicago. The NBA is done anyway. It's fake. It's trash anyway. The Africans might as well come because the NBA is garbage. The NBA is gonna go broke. You know what I'm saying? And if he make a lot of enemies out over here, and he be at a bar or he be at a club, shit gonna go bad. Just like yeah, shit gonna go bad anyway. Once we don't like you, shit change. All of that stardom and all of that, that's only popular if we like you. Once we don't like you, and once we start hating you, what good is fame? No good. Because there's going to be some FBA brothers on the team and they're going to holler at you in the locker room to see what you made of. You understand? Because one thing is for sure, we blocking all the tethers. You know, as far as tethers being in our social media, like you, Christo, you ain't going to be able to talk to me. You got to go talk to some more tethers. You ain't going to be able to talk to me with all that stuff. If you want to holler at me, you're going to have to holler at me outside on the streets of Chicago or somewhere where I can check your glamour. You ain't going to be able to hide like no girl on no social media. And don't cry when ICE come get you. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't care nothing about none of them dudes. I ain't supporting none of them. None of them Africans playing sports. Boo. Already, I don't watch soccer. Already. We're not going to buy your jersey. We're not going to support you. We're not going to do nothing. Now, if you can play ball and you come get some money, that's your business. That's between you and the Europeans. But as far as foundational black Americans, we ain't effing with you. You ain't going to never be nothing over here. Not like that. All that's finna turn around. That's a fact. They ain't on nothing. They about to invade Africa. And so just hold, you know, we was trying to pay attention to that because they about to invade Africa and try to take all the natural resources. So, you know, we've been trying to look at what we going to be, if we going to be any type of support or whatever. No, let them go take it. Because one thing we know about this man, they'll send some of you over here and they'll go over there because the natural resources is over there. So they'll let you come over here and chase a basketball or something, but they're going to come take all your diamonds, all your natural resources, and you're going to be the only one with money because all the rest of your family going to be butt naked and starving in West and East Africa. It ain't going to even balance out because the whole continent going to be broke. So it ain't going to even out. You few Africans getting them little pennies. We already know that ain't don't amount to nothing. We been there, done that. We was getting money when you was stuck over there. That little money they giving you, it's gonna go all to their system, and they're gonna treat you like dirt. Especially if you ain't got our support, you ain't gonna be nothing over here. Where you gonna be at? What town you gonna be in? What bar you gonna go to? You ain't gonna be able to. They don't get no damn man in these racist towns because you know basketball player. They gonna do you dirty. They catch you. You know what I'm saying? And then you make us an enemy. Where you gonna go? You're gonna have to go out right off the basketball court and go in the house. I'm just saying. Like I say, I ain't promoting no violence or nothing. I'm just saying you ain't gonna have no support system. ICE and stuff, they watching stuff like this. They look at stuff like this. Okay, yeah, we can move on to Africans. The black Americans don't care. See, Africans, blacks that ain't from here, they don't know how the game go. If you let this government see you don't got our backing, they gonna dog you. Which y'all tell them, they watching. And they agree. Get your ass out of here. Let me tell you something. The United States government will be very happy if we turn on other blacks because they don't like y'all anyway. They don't consider y'all no Americans. They don't want you coming over here eating. If it's up to the Trump administration, you ain't gonna even get no more scholarships to come to America to play ball. Watch. Remember I said it first. Man, they gonna cut them Africans off. Them Africans ain't gonna be able to get no scholarships to come over here. They ain't gonna be able to tether over here no more. That's gonna be over. They gonna deport your ass. Watch. The only thing kind of stop them from throwing you out is us. Because they're gonna revoke a lot of that citizenship. Thank God. But I ain't never want to go to Ghana. Thank God I knew that was some bullshit. Now just think about that year of return and look how she disrespecting us. See? Just think about the year of return where they was pretending, oh, it was all love. And now look at the disrespect. Once the year of return flopped, now they mad. That's what it looked like to me. Right? 1 minute it was a year of return, right? And it flopped. Some came and left, and we didn't come like they thought. They didn't get our money like they thought. So now all of a sudden, they low level hating. Because you can't tell me this lady ain't hating. She's saying that on purpose. Meanwhile, the Russians and the Chinese and Ghana finna take everything she got. God don't like ugly. And them Africans over there that hate us, they're gonna regret the day. They're gonna curse the day. They didn't love us. Trust me what I'm telling you. Because one thing about it, we can join the U.S. military, come holler at you. I'm just saying, they ain't that smart. Because the last thing you want is black American Marines and Army and Navy soldiers that don't like you coming over there with better weapons than you and better military equipment than you. Stupid. You know what I'm saying? If you know anything about, they don't know the system like we do. Tell me I'm lying. If the European American system found out we really didn't like Africans, won't they send us over there with weapons? They'll send us over there. Sure will. Hey, we send black people, they don't like them anyway. They slow over there. They'll send us over there. One reason Vietnam failed is because we didn't dislike the Vietnamese. We didn't dislike them. So it failed. The Vietnamese told us, so brother, go home. So brother, not your war, not your war. So it failed. But you send a bunch of foundational black Americans to Africa. Shit. The way y'all been acting. I'm just saying. I know if I'm young and I'm in the U.S. military, I go over there, I know the first person I'm looking for is this lady. She under arrest. We taking her back to the Navy ship. Yeah, we airlifting her out of there. We had to talk to her. Yeah, we got to talk to her. I'm gonna make up she did something. Girl, leave our name out your mouth. You Africans ain't do shit for us but come and leech off of us. What Africans did for foundation for us? Nothing. They ain't done nothing for us. They don't even help their own people over there. I don't be watching soccer and all that shit. I only do USA stuff. That's all I know. I don't be looking at no dudes in no cute shorts running around kicking no ball. That's trash. We watch football, NFL. I don't watch that. Good luck with that. You know what I'm saying? Good luck with that. I can't believe this lady. I'm pissed now. I'm a big hater. Yeah, I'm hating hard now. Man, I'm not gonna have people keep hating on me and I keep trying to turn the other cheek, man. I'm getting tired of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, you gonna step on Juneteenth like that? Oh, you just don't have no respect. They just ain't got no respect. I mean, this actually make me don't like Africans, which is sad because I shouldn't like stereotype, and I got some African friends, but I'm gonna be asking them about this. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to see your brother next week. I'm gonna be like, man, what's up with this? It's gonna be a little funky when I see him because I need the response. I need to hear what he gonna say. What's up with this, man? Get y'all motherfucking people over there. That's what I'm gonna tell dude. Hey, bro, get your people over there. You can't just sit here and let them keep talking crazy. Cause then I'm gonna think you in on it. You know what I'm saying? You cool Africans, y'all better go check this hoe, get this hoe in line. Let this hoe know stop playing. I'm just saying. Y'all better go holler at her. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a long summer. I can't believe this. This is the last strike. 3 strikes and your ass is out. This right here, this is totally unacceptable. Like Juneteenth, oh, you just don't got no. Oh, okay. You just don't have no respect. It's an African story. Juneteenth is an African story. How the hell is Juneteenth an African story when by the time Juneteenth come over here, we done been abused, mixed, mutilated, raped, and everything. By the time Juneteenth come, we got white blood. What is she talking about? By the time Juneteenth come, we Johnsons and Stewarts and Smiths, our women have been great. They not Africans no more. They're not pure Africans no more. They're not pure tribes no more. They made anybody have babies by anybody, including Native Americans. We a mixed bloodline now. We ain't no Africans like that no more. We got some African DNA, but we not Africans no more. We not. My mama Sue. My daddy was white people in my daddy's family. We've been abused over here. And they're just playing with it like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't like Godfrey. I don't like none of them because they coming over here and they ain't went through the experience. So I can't really relate to them. Like, I can't, if you ain't went through this experience, I can't relate. We ain't got nothing in common. If you ain't went through the experience that foundational Black Americans went through, I can't relate. That's one reason we can relate a little bit with the Jamaicans. because they've been through the experience down there with the whites down there in the Caribbean. They know. They was in the slave ports. The Africans don't respect them either. You would think the Africans would be really tight with the blacks in the Caribbean. No. Why the Africans ain't tight with no blacks? Why the Africans ain't tight with no Brazilians, no Caribbeans, no Black Americans? Why? The only ones they tight with is the punk ones up there that ran up to England. They still Africans though. They went on their own free will. No disrespect to the brothers up there, but I'm saying the Africans ain't got no relationship with no blacks. Talking about black African American. We ain't no damn African American. We foundational black Americans. We not no African Americans. There ain't nothing African about us. I don't got nothing in common with this lady. I don't got nothing in common with this lady. You know, the whole concept that you can be in slavery for 400 years and still be an African is some bullshit. If you've been in slavery for 400 years, you're a whole different creature. Come on, man. We ain't been, the blacks that did come from there ain't been African since the 1600s. Am I lying? The only, because some blacks did come over here and they was Africans. Was they still Africans by the 1800s? Hell no. If you bought an African over here in the 1600s, 1500s, 1600s, is that still an African in the 1700s? No. How? Keep it real. And everybody didn't even come over here. But let's talk about the ones that did. We know some did. So those that did come across the ocean in the 1500s, 1600s, was they still Africans in the 1700s? How? You something else by then. Now it's 2026. We ain't no Africans. See, when I came up, we had to read books and stuff, so we didn't have the knowledge I got now. So my knowledge, I had knowledge, but it was limited because there wasn't like endless resources. You used to have to go to the library, and the library was limited, right? Right? So that's why my knowledge is on a different level than it was when I was like 20, 25. Why? Because with the library, it's just a bunch of books. And you got to already kind of know what you're looking for. But with the internet, information just pop up. Other people just post information. So you don't have to look for information on the internet. Other people you subscribe to and they're posting information on Facebook. So information just coming to you. So I got way more information over the last 15 years than I had in the 70s and the 80s. That was limited information. We did the best we could with the limited information we had. But if you're somebody that like information like me, there's no way I can get more information now than I could have gotten a lifetime in the 80s. So, of course, your concepts, people say you change your concept. No, you upgrade. You don't change. We don't call that changing. We call it upgrading. We don't call it changing. Same thing with plant-based. We upgrade. We upgrade. And you be like, well, man, you don't drink soy milk no more. You change. Nah, I upgraded. I upgraded to almond milk. I upgraded to coconut milk. I upgraded. And we don't look at it as changing. We look at it as an upgrade. Just like when you put new tires on the car, you didn't change your car, you just got better tires on. That's how the knowledge is. And with me, I upgrade my knowledge. I don't be stuck on stupid. I don't be stuck on no knowledge. So some people don't like that. They say you used to say that. And I'd be like, you used to be a bitch. Shit, you say you ain't one no more. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing with me. But I upgrade. I don't gotta believe nothing forever. I could do whatever I want to do. I could think however I want to think. I don't gotta think if I think some kind of way 10 years ago, I don't gotta think like that now. Who said you gotta think like that now? Who made that rule up? That's like driving a car and not changing the spark plugs. So now we got way more knowledge, way more information. We know way more. We know way more details. I can learn more stuff in an hour before I go live than I used to could learn in a whole day. Real talk. You know, you used to have to go to the library and know which book you're looking for. You don't have to look for no book now. You can just go to Google and type the subject in. And bam, just type it in there. The information about Juneteenth will pop right up. Juneteenth is specifically a Black American holiday. It ain't got shit to do with no Africa. It's commemorating the end of chattel slavery in the United States, originated with the delayed news of emancipation reaching enslaved people in Galveston, Texas in 1865. This got nothing to do with no goddamn Ghana. But didn't no Ghanaians show up until goddamn it 1980. Ghanaians didn't show up for 115 years later for Africans start showing up on their own. Facts. I was here. I'm born 1958. So how's she going to say this pertained to them? Lady, y'all didn't even show up. Y'all wasn't a part of nothing. Trying to take credit for every damn thing with her black ass. Ghana's Minister of Tourism. You see what I'm saying? You know, this is a scam to get us to come to Ghana. No, it's just a part of our story. You need to come to Ghana. All of this ain't nothing but got this Sambo trying to sell trips to come to Ghana to spend money in Ghana. The whole year to return was a scam for money. That's all it was. And as soon as dude scammed us a couple of times, they threw his ass out of office and got a whole new president. And they still trying to scam, trying to get us to come to spend money in Ghana. They're going to go to the politicians, ain't going to even go to the Ghanaian people. Ain't going to give them nothing. This is a scam. She's trying to hustle us to come to Ghana. That's all this is, a scam. No, we're tied in with you. Come to Ghana. Showed up to scam. Exactly. Scammers. How is she even talking about us when the South Africans just threw their black ass out? Lady, work out your differences with the South Africans. Because the South Africans just threw your ass out, told you to get the hell out. See how phony that is? How you got love for us and the South Africans hate you? The South Africans just threw the Ghanaians and the Nigerians out. What'd that tell you? The other people, Africa don't even like you. On my soul. The Zulu just threw them out, and then she pandering to us. The Zulu just threw them out. I'm telling you, man, them people, you know what? You can't trust them Africans. I can't believe I just flat out. You can't. They're not trustworthy. Am I lying? Am I lying? They, they're not trustworthy. Tell me I'm lying. They're not trustworthy. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. They're not trustworthy. Ain't no way I'm going over there. Hell no. This lady trying to leech off of Juneteenth. Say it ain't just our story, it's their story too. It's the story of the people that sold you. Boy, you cannot make this up. You can't make this up, man. As of April 2026, widespread unrest involving xenophobic attacks has escalated in several major South African cities, resulting in significant looting of shops and property and destruction. Reports indicate that demonstrations initially intended to hold authorities accountable have shifted toward targeting foreign owned businesses, which are Ghanaian and Nigerian. You cannot make this up. They targeting us when their own Africans don't even like them. A group calling itself Concerned Citizens and the Voters of South Africa is calling for a countrywide shutdown on Monday, the 4th of May, over the presence of millions of foreigners, Ghanaians, and Nigerians, who it demands be returned to their home countries, whether documented or not. They said, "We are xenophobic," reads one message. Now, why do the South Africans want the Ghanaians and Nigerians out of South Africa? So they want you out of South Africa, but you pandering to us. Okay. You pandering to us, but you don't get along with your neighbor right there in Africa. See what I'm saying? They say get out because you robbing them. So what make us think they gonna treat us some good when they don't even treat South Africans no good? I'm just saying. What make us think that Ghanaians is gonna treat us good when Ghanaians and Nigerians don't treat South Africans no good, and the South Africans want them to get out. So South Africans want you to get out, and you want me to come live with you, and you're talking crazy. The South. That's why they want you to get out. That's why the South Africans want you to get out because you coming down there trying to claim their stuff too, trying to claim their holiday, trying to tether your ass with them, and they're like, "No, we Zulu. We're not going to let y'all tether to us." That's what's going on in Africa. Africans trying to tether Africans. That's what's going on. The Ghanaians and Nigerians trying to go down there and claim a bunch of stuff in South Africa, and the Zulu ain't having it. Am I lying? Am I lying? Now we know what the real beef is. The real beef is they trying to tether to the other Africans and drain them in their country. That's what the beef is. It ain't working. So now they trying to put their claws in us and trying to show us fake love. No, 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 no. Juneteenth is not just your holiday. Juneteenth is African and Ghanaian story. That's what she said. She said Juneteenth is a Ghanaian story of some shit that happened in Texas. It's like, bitch, please get up off your motherfucking knees. Lady, is you crazy? She said Juneteenth is an African and a Ghanaian story. Juneteenth. This lady said this is Ghanaian. This is Ghanaian and African. This is. Can you believe that? Not only is that that just show you the level of just total disrespect. Total disrespect. Africa never unite because Africans are disrespectful. So they're not going to respect each other. I get it. Like we already know when you leave Chicago, you go to LA, we can't go to LA disrespecting LA. We already know that. Foundation for Black Americans, we know when we go in each other's turf, what? We be respectful. We're not going to go down to Atlanta and disrespect Atlanta. We're not going to go to, I ain't finna go to Savannah, Georgia and be like, man, this some Chicago shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't do that. Like, no, this Savannah, Georgia stuff. You know, when we go to Savannah, Georgia, we go to Atlanta, Georgia, we on some Atlanta, Georgia time. This day thing. We doing day thing. We don't got nothing to do with this. This is how we function. If I go to Alabama, I'm down there on Alabama time. I'm doing Alabama stuff. Chicago don't run nothing in Alabama. We ain't gonna go to Alabama trying to act like Chicago runs something and you in Alabama. We already know that don't work. That don't even work in a different neighborhood in America, do it? In America, you can't even do that in another neighborhood. Not alone another state or another city. But the Africans think they can go somewhere else and make it like it's theirs. That's crazy. That's like me going to Atlanta. I'm trying to get some Chicago food, but I'm trying to get some Georgia food. Is you crazy? I could have stayed in Chicago if I want to brag about Chicago. I'm not finna go to Atlanta. Chicago this, Chicago is that. Chicago. Way down in there. Come on, man. I done came to Florida. I'm in Miami. I'm talking about Chicago. Chicago the one. Chicago the reason y'all got this stuff. That's that stupid lady in Africa. Boy, you can't do that in the U.S. Can you do that in the U.S.? Can you go to St. Louis and go to Detroit? Come on, man. St. Louis is the reason Detroit be Detroit. That's how they went to Minneapolis, turned it into Mogadishu, slummed it out. Man, somebody call ICE. Too bad ICE can't grab her. ICE need to go grab her, bring her over here, then send her back. I'm so pissed. I want to call ICE. Go grab her, bring her here, and ship her ass back. Teach her a lesson. Lady, I'll never come to Ghana. And no, Ghana and Africa ain't got nothing to do with no Juneteenth. Lady, stop. Or Black History Month or nothing that we got over here. We don't know y'all. Y'all ain't never done nothing for us. And at this point, we don't even like you, lady. We don't even like y'all. Black Americans in Africa, they trying to leave and go to South America. They trying to leave. Africa has been a failure for the expats too. They went over there for nothing. This lady proved that you cannot go to Africa. They tribal, they slow. You understand? And they disrespectful. That's some disrespectful shit. She got no dignity, nothing, no royalty, nothing about herself. She gonna step on Juneteenth. Juneteenth is not just American. Juneteenth is Ghanaian. Bitch, you crazy. Said he ain't never going over there. He too yellow. He ain't gonna never say he no African. He just talking. He ain't gonna. He for Renge. Okay, this big pharaoh. That light skinned dude like that. First off, he can't go to East Africa because he not slim looking like that. They know he ain't no Somalian or no Ethiopian or nothing, and they sure ain't gonna take no yellow dude on West Africa. He too yellow. They're not gonna honor said he has no damn African. He ain't an Arab. He all right. I ain't beefing with him no more because he. But I'm just saying he ain't gonna get no respect in no damn Africa. You see how brownish red I am? They not honoring me as no African in Africa. Y'all, they gonna honor me as African in Africa? No. Come on, is we keeping it real or we keeping it extra fake? I'm too red. They know I'm a Native American. I got some African blood, but anybody can see I got Native American. I'm Native American. Native Americans the only ones red like this. Africans ain't red. Africans is brown, black, and then you got some beige ones over there, over in East Africa. They ain't got no whole bunch of red ones. They got that dark brown red, but they don't got this shade of red over there. They don't got this shade. No, I'm Big Chief over there. On Chief. What we say in Chicago? On Chief. We Native Americans. Why we keep saying on Chief? Why are gang leaders in Chicago called Chief? Yeah, that Indian red. I got some African though. I got some African blood though. I got some East African blood. I got some Egyptian blood. I got some Egyptian blood. That's a fact. My daughter went and did her DNA. She has some Ethiopian blood, some Egyptian blood, but we got a lot of Native American blood and mix. My family. I know who the hell I am. I ain't no goddamn Ghanaian. I know that much. I can tell you that. This lady talking crazy. Talking about she got something to do with Juneteenth. Lady, You know what I'm saying? Lady, if you don't get your goofy ass out of here, see, it's my great grandma on my mama's side. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I got white too. You know, some of y'all blacks talking about y'all all that shit. Your name Johnson Smith and shit. That's cause Smith been up in your great grandmama. You just ain't no Smith. You just don't get to be no Stewart. Stewart is Irish. You know, you a fool. Your family name Stewart, and you don't think you got no Irish blood. Dumb shit. My daddy name was Randolph Stewart. Okay, Irish. Hello, duh. Ain't no Indians named Williams, Jackson, none of that. Davidson, Robinson. Y'all need to stop. Talking about you pure Native American, your name Robinson, your name Williams. And ain't no Native Americans named Williams, man. Mr. Williams been up in your great grandmother, okay? Duh. That's British and Scottish. Yeah, we got Scottish blood, British blood, Irish blood. Some German blood too. We got some German. Stewart could be German or Irish. Stewart. America's the old world. No, it's not. Sorry, not sorry. America's not the damn old world. Stop. America's not the old world, bro. Stop. This is the old world before the Pangea. Checkmate. This is the old world. The old world mean before the Pangea is the old world. The old world before the Pangea. What is the Pangea? That's why you got to study. So you might have been in that part, but the old world, this is the old world. Now you might have been in the part that became America. Well, I read a lot of free slaves chose their last names. Yeah, my name Ellerton. You read that. Where you from? Where you from? Because all you got to do is go back and look at your family papers. Which, on the side note, y'all go get y'all family papers. You won't have to guess. Go get your family papers. You know what I'm saying? Go get your family papers. If you get your family papers, then the case will be closed. You know what I'm saying? Go get your family papers. You ain't that far back. You was born if you was born in the 1900s. You ain't that far back. Go get your family papers. That's all. Go get your family papers. Then you won't be guessing no more. You know what I'm saying? You won't be guessing if you get your family papers. Get your family papers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go get your family papers. You know what I'm saying? Go get your stuff. Y'all should be getting all it together. Get your papers. Get your family papers like Big Pharaoh, and then you know who everybody is, right? Get your family papers. You know what I'm saying? If you get your family, if you go get all the photos, and you need to be doing that anyway. You need to be getting your family pictures and your family lineage. Then you'll know. Okay, well then you know how far the name go back then. Then you know the name go way, way back. Because them people was in slavery. So you get your family papers, you'll know. That stuff go all the way back to slavery. You know what I'm saying? If you get your family papers, you'll see how far it go back. You'll know exactly who was in slavery. You'll know when they was breeding and all that. All you gotta do is just get those family papers. It's gonna make all the difference. You know what I'm saying? You need to go get them. You need to go back to the 1800s. Then you'll know everything then. And then they got people you could go to now that'll go back further than that. So they got experts that can find you all the way back. I got a brother. I'm finna pay him. I'm finna pay him. He gonna go back as far as he can go. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be deep. Yeah, I got a brother. He gonna go all the way back. That's gonna be heavy. He said he could go back to the almost back to the 1700s. That's gonna be heavy. They got people that could go all the way back. Real talk. Yeah, they got people that could go all the way back. You know what I'm saying? Hey, go get your papers. You can go all the way back. All the way. You can go far. But them names is old though. Straight from slave owners. See? You can go all the way back. You could get all the information. You should be saving all this stuff. Go all the way back. You can find everything. All that stuff is the Census Bureau got all that shit. They start taking the census in the 18. They got all that. That's how you get reparations. You get reparations if they find you in the census. You're good. You're gonna be in there. They got everybody since the 1800s. Before the 1800s, you got to get fine for personal papers. You got to go to people that's gonna go and they're gonna go into the slave papers. They got those too, but then it ain't charted out. Somebody got to chart it out for you. I mean, it's a whole lot of names. You can't go by them names. Those names ain't legitimate. Those names ain't legitimate, Loudy. Tamiri is not legitimate because everybody called it something different. So back in those days, if we lived here, you called it this, that tribe called it that tribe called it that. It wasn't no consensus of no name of no landmass. Just think about it. They didn't have the communication to have no consensus of what everybody on this landmass called it. A lot of times, Loudy, we try to take nowadays world and apply it back to the 17, 16, 1500s. You can't do that. People that came up from like uh, uh, South America, Mexico, they called it one thing. People that came up, like if people that came up from, let's say you came up, you was an Inca, you called it one thing. The Mayans called it something else. The Aztecs called it something else. The ones that came from the north, that come from like the Eskimos, they called this something else. The ones that came from the Caribbean, different islands, everybody called the place something different. It's not like they all had a consensus or had a way to say this is called this, right? If you ain't got no TV or no radio, it ain't no way you could tell nobody if you in upstate New York area, how you gonna get somebody in the Southwest to call a place the same thing you call? You don't even know they there. Cause you gotta understand in them days you don't even know who here. Only thing you know is who in your little area. Right? They had to get on stagecoaches and ride for how long just to get to the center of the country. So when somebody say this place was called that, they don't know what the fuck they talking about. Yeah, by somebody, but not by everybody. Come on, think, y'all. If you discovered America on the East Coast, you're gonna name it one thing, but the dude that discovered it on the West Coast, he gonna call it the same shit? When you go back, everything got a bunch of names. That's all you need to know. It's really unnecessary information because when further you go back, this shit was called all different type of stuff. So you just would be wasting your life trying to find out some insignificant information. Imhotep, first thing you young people need to know, a lot of that shit ain't worth knowing. You just know it for nothing. You can't pass it down. You can't make no money with it, and it ain't got no value. 97% of history is trash. The only history that's any valuable, no, they wasn't. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. It was tribes didn't even know the other tribe was here. You, my friend, live in a make-believe world. If you was a tribe in Florida, you didn't know a goddamn thing. You didn't even know it was a tribe in Seattle. Bro, shut up. You sound crazy. You really believe somebody rode a horse all the way from Florida all the way to Seattle to know who's there? Dude, y'all don't listen to him. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. He talking make-believe shit. You don't even know motherfuckers now in another state. How you know them back on a horse? Man, that's make-believe shit. Use your brain. If you riding a horse, you don't know shit. Listen, when the white people was on wagon trains going across the country and some Indians ran up on them, did they know which Indians those was? No. All they know is there's some people riding up on them. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about, okay? You don't know. Okay? Shut up over here. Go teach on your own page. Don't teach over here. Go teach on your own page. You can't teach over here. Now, if you got $5,000, I'll debate you. Other than that, shut up. I'll unblock you tomorrow. Shut up over here. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Nobody knew nobody. They take stuff and put together in a history book. And then you look at the history book and believe that they knew that back then. So y'all looking at gathered information and believe that information always been gathered? Who believe that? Back in those days, if you was in the north part of South America, you didn't know nothing about nobody in South America. Look, you got people in Chicago that don't hardly ever go downtown. Am I right or wrong? True or false? True or false? Do everybody in Chicago go downtown a lot? Yes or no? Yes or no? Put it in. Do everybody on the south side of Chicago got details about the west side? Huh? They know what gang is If you're on the south side of Chicago, you know what gangs is on the west side and where they live at? And this is with buses and trains and everything. You know that? If you live in San Diego, you know what's going on in San Francisco. You know the details. I'm a realist. I don't do fake bullshit, okay? If you don't got no airplanes, ain't no way you know what's going on the other side of the country. Listen, let me ask y'all a question. How long it took to ride a horse from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean? Put it in the chat if you're smart. How long? How long would it take to ride a horse back in the old days from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean? Put it in the chat. One of you smart people that know, that's trying to take the day history and think it applied back then. Two months? He said 2 months. Shit. How about you die in the middle? It's going to take you some years. Hold on. Let me ask you this. Can one horse make the journey? Can one horse make that journey? Simple question. Can one horse carry you from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean? Simple question. Okay, be quiet. Thank you. Okay. You just got the name Imhotep. You ain't really got no knowledge. You just got that name. That definitely ain't your real name. You bootleg. You don't know what the hell you talking about. You can watch cowboy pictures and see them shoot their horse, but the horse can't go no further. They show you in the cowboy pictures where they shoot their horse, and they have to get on the other dude's horse and ride and find some more horses. A lot of times they have to catch a wild horse. Listen, I ain't got time to talk to no fools. No, they used to have to. They used to have to euthanize the horse and catch a wild horse. How old is you? You must be a little boy. Anyway, stop talking to me. You're gonna irritate me. Stupid. You know what the hell he talking about? He ain't never drove across the country. Anybody ever drove from the West Coast to the East Coast? Have you ever drove from Chicago to LA? Let me ask you something. If you rode a horse, let's just say from Chicago to Vegas, can you ride a horse from Vegas to LA? Put it in the chat. Can you ride any horse from Las Vegas to LA? Any horse. Have anybody drove from Vegas to LA? I had a brand new car. I came to Chicago get a brand new car. And we was going to drive back to LA. And we made a mistake and left Vegas in the morning and got out there in that desert, and that desert almost destroyed my brand new Chevy. Even with the air conditioner fully blasted, it was burning up in there. I should have went at night. Oh, here go the weird Hebrew dude. Yeah, we don't do weirdo Hebrew stuff. So anybody think that you could just ride a horse from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean? Hey, I don't even want to talk to you no more. You definitely don't know what the hell you're talking about. For sure. None of those people knew nobody. Like them people didn't start getting connected until they built the railroad. When they built the railroad, that's when everybody started finding out, you know, where people was at. But on the movie, they make you, the movies, it's a movie. But nobody knew nobody where nobody else was at. Like the Indians that live on the East Coast didn't know nothing about no natives over there. That's movies. Even when I went down south in the 60s, if you lived in Uniontown and you lived in the country, that was it. You didn't know, you never went to see nobody nowhere else in Alabama. All of that type of travel really didn't start happening really till damn near the late 60s and the 70s for people start really moving like that. It used to be wherever you lived at, that was it. That's where you was at. In like the 50s and 40s and shit like that, wherever you live, that's where you was at. You didn't really go nowhere like that. What y'all see travel now, that didn't even start till like the 60s. People wasn't moving in the 50s like they was moving in the 70s. When we was out there going on vacation stuff, that was those was brand new experiences. Even if you could look at my daddy car when we was 2 or 3 and look at my daddy car by the time we got 10, you can see the difference in the cars. Like he had one of them old cars, like was round like that when we was 2 or 3. He didn't really have those nice cars till we was like 10 and before he had them Buicks and Cadillacs and stuff and air conditioning and all that. Now they had them old ass cars, them cars, man, you couldn't drive them cars down there like that. They could go a couple states. When I was little, people didn't drive down south. They took the train or the bus. Ask somebody. Ask an older person. People didn't drive across the country in like the 50s, early 60s. No, you took a train. You took a train. Like when I was little, we took trains to funerals and stuff. When I was like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you took a train to Alabama or a bus. You took a train or a bus. When my parents and them didn't start driving like that till we like 8, 9. When I'm born in 58. Yeah, it's like 65, 66, 67, but mostly in the 70s. The 70s is when it was up. The 60s, most of the travel y'all know now is 1970 travel. Before the 70s, I wasn't really moving like that. They wasn't getting on planes like that. They would take trains and buses. Well, nobody driving like that in the 60s across no country. But if you believe it, that's on you. Them cars didn't have the right piping and stuff. Boy, that car would have ran hot, boy. If my daddy would have tried to take that 40 ad to Alabama, that shit would have ran hot. But a lot of y'all don't know. A lot of y'all didn't ride the bus when the bus didn't have air conditioning, the city bus. You know, the city bus didn't have air conditioning. You had to open windows. Hey, positive vibe, positive queen. They don't know nothing about that life. They think everything was like it is now. That's why they was getting ready to unalive Christopher Columbus, because they had never hit land yet. He was in the brig. You know, they had locked him up because they hadn't found nothing. They was just out there floating. They think they watch movies and stuff. They watch the Lone Ranger, so they think you could just get on the horse and just ride, you know. They watch movies. You know what I'm saying? They think, you know what I'm saying? Didn't nobody know nobody. Yeah, the bus driver was black. Yeah. Nobody really knew nobody across the country like that. When you get back to the 1800s and all that, they wasn't doing no country traveling like that. It was too difficult. It was too difficult. Across country traveling really didn't blow up until air conditioning. The window down, you not driving down south all the way with no windows. That ain't gonna get it. Somebody say you could ride a horse all across the United States. They think a horse, what they think a horse is, that just show you that person ain't never really been down south and rode no horses, no real horses on like I have. He think a horse is like a TV horse. He don't know a horse is an animal that's limited. He think a horse, that fool think a horse is a super creature. He been watching TV shows, you know, and them ain't even Indians, them white people with makeup on. Yeah, the 60s and before, and horses. I used to ride horses in Alabama. Like horses can't go far. Horses can't go far like that. Horses have to have water. So if he get out there he can ride all the way across the country and ride it out there somewhere and don't find no water hole, what's gonna happen to the horse and him? What's gonna happen to him if he can't find no water hole? Look, think of the history. How did they cross the country? Let's take a break. Watch this. I'm gonna prove what I'm saying. How did they used to cross the country? All right, listen. The only way they would be able to cross the country is only one way. And the only way they would be able to cross the country is they had to take wagon trains. And wagon trains allowed them to take water, extra horses, right? With a wagon train, you could take extra horses, you could take water, you could take enough food and supplies to make it across. And you had to take a scout that knew where to cross at because wagon trains passed away too. Everybody in the wagon train passed away. If the scout take you in the wrong place, you get out there, you run out of water, all the horses pass away, and everybody passed away from thirst. So people talking, nobody rode no horse across this country. The way people got across this country was with wagon trains because you have to have supplies. You have to have medical supplies. You have to have stuff in case people get bit by snakes and scorpions. You had to have shade. So the wagon train had shade, and what they could do is they could circle the wagon trains and create an environment. And yeah, they would be walking. They would be walking. Some would be walking. So it would take years and years. And many times they would stop and create a city. But you gotta have medical supplies. You gotta have shade. See, wagon trains got shade. You have to be able to light a fires at night. So you gotta have all your supplies. You gotta have wood, or you gotta stop somewhere it's wood, or how you gonna cook? You gotta find water. Where's everybody gonna wash their clothes and freshen up? So if you don't have a scout, the scout would be the one to take you by the river. We're going to camp by this river. We're going to camp there. We're going to go this way. The Comanches is over there. The Apaches is over there. We're going to go this way between them. You couldn't just get up there. Some fool just said you could just ride a horse across. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. He wouldn't make it past two. You can't ride no horse. You can't ride them. People just be talking. I don't be mad. They be young. They be babies. But sometimes they should be quiet. Sometimes it's good to be quiet and let somebody really tell the people what's really going on. It ain't always good to just be running your mouth. A lot of times you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? If you go back and look, the only way this country got totally inhabited was with wagon trains. That's it. Without wagon trains, white people wouldn't have been all over across this country. Facts. You had to have enough men with guns to defend yourself, all type of stuff. You had to be able to survive the coyotes, because back then, 200 coyotes, if they hungry enough, it wasn't like now where they have destroyed the animals. Places like Africa, a lion pride might got 400 lions, 300 lions. A pack of coyotes back then, ain't like in the movie, a pack of coyotes back then, before man destroyed all animals, a pack of coyotes could be 150 of them. You ever seen a wolf pack? And this is after they destroyed the environment, a wolf pack be 50 of them. So imagine before they destroyed the environment, how many wolves was in a wolf pack? Well, you get your ass out there, and if you ain't got no scout, so anybody say you could ride a horse across, right then, that's why I be asking certain questions to find out if you worth talking to. Once I know you don't know that, I know I'm talking to the wrong person. You see this wagon train? This all documented. Nobody rode no horse across. Whatever. That somebody ain't been outside like that. You see? See they walking? They won't let me show this one. See they walking? So when they say they went west, people don't know that was serious. So that's why they did what? They said we gotta build a railroad. So that's why the railroad became a necessity. Because without the railroad, they wouldn't be able to function. Look at all them people. Look at all them. And look, you can see they meeting up from two different directions. You see the one coming from this side of the mountain and the other one coming from that side. That's the only way they got across this country. And you gotta have a scout. You gotta have a scout, or you just be out there going around in circles and you pass away out there. They used to run into people that got lost and it just be all bones out there. And them the ones the coyotes would eat them. So some of the coyotes was man eaters because they done ate people already that then passed away out there. Then you got the natives who know where they at. And the natives, they wasn't like on TV when you run into the Cherokee on them horses. It's 300 of them. It ain't no 10 or nothing like on TV. When you run into the Cherokee and them or Comanches, it's 300-400 of them. You go down in the valley, you look up there, it's 200 up there, it's 200 up there, it's 300 down there. It's an army of them. And they don't live far. They live right over there, so they got their supplies right over there. They're not far away from their camp where they teepees and stuff is at. They teepees and camp and they women and kids and stuff is right over there. And then the teepees roll up. You know that, right? So the teepees roll up and you take them long sticks and they move the whole city. You ever been in a teepee? I think of Spokane, Washington. When I went to the Seattle Hemp Fest, we up in Seattle and up there, I was with some Native Americans. Do you know those poles for the teepee? Do you know those things like 12 feet, 15 feet long? Did you know that? Like those poles is way higher than a basketball rim. When they put those sticks up like that and lean them like that, one of them is like this. One of them got a thing. So they throw the other one in there and then they throw the other one across down, right? But do you know that thing is like 12, 13 feet in the air and it's so wide? It's like a house. It ain't like what they show. They show you them little TPs on TV. No. Them logs, each one of them things about this wide. Each one of them sticks is 3 sticks about this wide. It's made from a special tree that ain't got no branches. It's a tree that goes straight up with all the branches at the top. So they just cut that part off. So it's a long tree. It don't got no knots on it or nothing. It's crazy. Like a big old bamboo pole. But it's a tree. It's a special tree they use. And then when they put them up there, then they wrap them. And the thing they wrap them with is big, man. It's bigger than your living room. Like what they wrap the TP with, you can't open that in your living room. See, they don't show. You got to go around you got to go around the tribes to see that stuff. If you get a chance, go to a sweat or something. Like when the Native Americans have, sometimes they have sweats. They'll let you come, but you got to be respectful and like don't talk too much. Because if you they'll cut you real quick. You can't call them chief. That's an insult. A lot of stuff is an insult. So let them tell you how to talk. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't say the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, lad. Shout out to my boy Thunder. Thunder taught me all that. He used to talk like this. I said, why you talk? I can't even do it. He used to talk way down here like this. I said, why y'all talk like that? And he told me something. It's like some kind of way to be dominant. They've been doing this so long, that's how they talk. And I asked him, you can't call them anything. I think I asked him chief. He said they'll cut you. They'll cut your throat for calling them that. I said, are you serious? He said, no, that's an insult. I said, are you serious? He said, no. And then when I see the TP and the skin from the TP, man, they don't tell her how many animals it is to make that thing. Now different tribes do different stuff, septic, right? So what you could say with one tribe is other, and the tribes ain't the same people. So they not the same people like we be thinking. Like a tribe from up in Seattle, Washington, they come from up in Alaska and up in that area. They not like a tribe in New Mexico. They ain't nothing alike. They don't look alike or nothing. Because they're not really Indians. And they're not really Native Americans. They're like a nomadic people. They don't really live nowhere, but they do set up spots. And when the white man came, he caught them in the spots they was like they might live in a place for like 10 years, but they move. So the way they live, the way they told me, they're like, we'll live here. They're like, Farrell, we'll live here. But they say, if a drought or something happen, we won't just stay there and starve. We take the whole tribe and move where it's fresh food, fresh wood and stuff. So they kind of like stationary and nomadic. They move wherever they can survive at. They just don't stay. They don't stay there. That's why they don't build no stationary areas. From the time they came to North America, they had stationary areas in South and Central America because they have offshoots from Incas, Mayans, and Aztecs, and some other ones. So those ones we be seeing are the ones that had to go nomadic because of wars. So when they started having all those wars in South and Central America and the Spanish invasion, that's where it came from. So that's when I realized, so now y'all they not Indians because they're not even the same people. They some indigenous nomadic people from different places that end up living transient because of wars. They don't tell you all that when you watch the movie. They're like Incas, Mayans, Aztecs, and that had to go and start not being stationary when the Spanish started coming. They had to start moving around. They wasn't even from up here. They're not even from here like that. They told me the group that lived here didn't even live in teepees. They lived in them rocks, like the Grand Canyon. They show you them how they had all of civilization lives on them cliffs. And that's what they told me at the sweat. They said the people that used to live up here lived on cliffs. But them ones that we call Indians, they from Alaska, they Eskimos and stuff, and they from South and Central America. They not from here. That's what they told me. They not from here. That's what they told me. That they not from here. They from South and Central America. They Incas, Aztecs, and Mayans that broke up and became different tribes, just like the Africans. The Africans is from East Africa. And then when they went west, they got so far. Then these went to Liberia, these went to Ghana, and then they became all that stuff. You can watch the African Queen Mother. She tell that story. So it's the same with them. They split up and became, because I was like, I thought they was Indians. They're like, no, we ain't no Indians. That's an insult. They said they was like, ain't no Native American in none of them movies. Those is white men. That's white man makeup on. I said, for real? He's like, yeah, it's white man with makeup on, making a mockery of our different groups, our different nations. Because they don't call them tribes, they call them nations. They don't call them tribes. That's another thing they don't call them tribes, they call them nations. So that's how I learned all this stuff, hanging out and going to the Seattle Hemp Fest and in Hawaii. I learned a lot of it in Hawaii because a lot of them would come to Hawaii and hang out. And then the black ones, the whites forced them to be with the slaves. So when they said they wasn't no slave, they black. Yes, you still was a slave. If you was black, they made you a slave. People be, man, listen. Black Native Americans were slaves. They ain't give a damn they gonna pick that cotton. If you had the skin to take the sun, they put your ass out there. Go to Alabama, Mississippi. Them is Africans and Native Americans. That's a fact. My father's Native American, but he's more African, and my mother's some African, but more Native American. So when people say, no, we was this and that, no, we was all that shit. Slavery wasn't based on nothing but can you take the sun? Facts. Slavery didn't have nothing to do with just who could take the sun. That was it. It was a business model. Whites couldn't take the sun. They was dying out there. They was getting sunburned. They don't tell that, do they? They make you think it was racial. No, it was racial based on certain races could take the sun. Think about it. If we was black and we could take the sun, we wouldn't have been able to pick no cotton. Think about it. It was all business. If you was black and you was a black Native American, you was picking that damn cotton. Because you had them white Native Americans. The 5 tribes, they from Canada. So they was more white. They was from the cold. See, they don't tell you that. You got the red Native Americans, you had the brown ones, you had the tan ones, and you had the white ones. They really wasn't Native Americans. The people that came here called them that. See what I'm saying? The Pilgrims called them that. But that's not what they were just because they called them that. And them white ones, the whites was more cool with the light skinned white looking ones. Even they was even cool with some of the beige looking ones, but the dark red ones and the black ones, they didn't like them ones. They're the ones they treated the worst. And so the ones that was kind of like the white ones from like Alaska and up there, they sold the rest out. That's the five sellout nations. They wasn't as brown like the other ones. Them the ones that gave all that money for casino and stuff. You ever notice how light they look? You ever notice that? They're not the brown ones or the beige ones. They're not the brown ones or the black ones or the dark beige ones. They're not them red ones either. They really didn't like them red ones. They tried to white. They hated them big old real red ones. You just see them, man. They real red though. People that live like in Chicago, live over here, you ain't really get to see them like that. You got to go on the West Coast. Man, they real red though. I'm not from that group. I'm from the brownish red ones that was down in Alabama and down there. The ones that was mixed with the blacks. Most of y'all is the ones mixed with the blacks. Talking about you're a Native American. Now you African and Native American. You gotta go do your history. They was all sleeping together. The Seminoles and the Africans and all them, the ones down south, they was all sleeping together. If you from down there, Alabama, Georgia, down there, your ass African and Native American. That's a fact. Your ass is African and Native American. You not no Native American or no African. Always remember, this is how you know who you are, or this is how you don't know who you are. Always remember, you got two parents, four grandparents, eight great grandparents, 16 great grandparents, 32 great grandparents, 64 great grandparents. Who is them 64 people? I just said we didn't come from Africa. Let me. I didn't say we was Africans, but you got African blood. I'm gonna say it again. You got 64 great grandparents, and some of them is African. Now, when you take your DNA, you definitely got African blood, but it don't mean it's the highest number. So positive queen, when you take your DNA, most of these people don't know, Big Pharaoh know. When you take your DNA, it starts from the most blood down. So these people take their DNA, they don't see no African, they say they're not African. But if they go down to numbers 14, 16, they're going to have African in there. And different ones, your top numbers is different. So your top number might not show that. Like some people top number going to have white higher up at the top. Some of us white going to be in the middle. Some of us Irish or white or wherever going to be towards the end. It all depends on who slept with who. So that's why when they be saying we not African, that's a misstatement because we know we not nothing, but you do have African blood for sure. I guarantee you got East African blood. You got Egyptian or Ethiopian blood for sure. But it might not be. It depends on who you. It's also depends on who you do your DNA with, because some people only show the top numbers. You got to do it with the people show all of the. Because some at the top, but you ain't no pure Choctaw. Impossible. It's impossible because men wasn't liking women from the same tribe. It was liking when you start getting to the 1800s, 1900s stuff. Men were sleeping with every woman they liked. They didn't know her lineage. And your great grandfather didn't know what your great grandmother was. You got a whole bunch of DNA. Your mom and daddy ain't got the same DNA. Your mama got a bunch of different DNA, and then your daddy got a bunch of different DNA. Now, if your daddy got a whole bunch of Choctaw and your mama got, then that's going to show up at the top of the chart. But if you go get a really good DNA test, it's going to show all of the bloodlines. Most people, sister, they only identify with what's at the top. Exactly. See what I'm saying? So they got different people doing that DNA. It'll show all of it. It'll show all of it. It'll show like all of it. I'm finna go do mine. My daughter did hers. She came back Ethiopian, Egyptian, and a couple different Native Americans. I got to ask her in there, America. She was just excited about the Ethiopian Egyptian. She's like, I wonder which one of y'all Egyptian and which one Ethiopian. She's like, Mom probably Ethiopian. You probably Egyptian. Yeah, cause you gotta go to a really reputable one. Some of them been scamming, so it came out they be scamming. I'll go get the information. I'm glad you said something. I need to come tell people the reputable ones. That's. Let me write this down because it is a scam. It is people scamming. Because when you go to the reputable ones, they're gonna show you. They're gonna show you like 15 to 25 bloodlines. If you go to one, they just show you 3, 4, 5. They bullshit because people been. How many people slept with how many people? So how you gonna tell I just for 5 people? And I got 64 great, 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 great grandparents that don't nobody know who the hell them people is or who was sleeping with who. Because I ain't never asked a woman what she was when she was cute. You know, like you cute. If I would have had your baby, I don't know what our kids would have been. They would have been whatever all my people is or whatever all your people is. That's what our babies would have been. See what I'm saying? Because you all different type of stuff and I'm all different type of stuff. And you is cute. You definitely would have had my baby. Let me see. I got to remember. Look up the best DNA test. And you do know they should have skipped too. You know that, right, Positive Queen? You know it'll skip. Yes, it will skip. Hey, Positive Queen, that's another thing. You know your DNA don't transfer evenly. You know that, right? No, it does not. It will not transfer evenly. They don't talk about that either. So you can have sex with your man and one baby get a whole bunch of your mama. And then you can have sex with that same man 3 years later and the other baby get a whole bunch of your daddy. I swear to God. That's why we be looking different. Because every time your body make an egg or make a sperm, it don't make it the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't gonna make the exact same egg. It ain't gonna put the exact same genes together. They don't talk about that, Queen. Because when you had sex, first off, your great grandmama and great granddaddy can't tell you about the baby daddy. So now, if his sperm was extremely strong, you're gonna get his reading. You're not gonna get your mom and daddy's reading. Because you gotta understand when you have a baby, that's 4 people, right? It's your mom and daddy, and it's their daddy's mama and daddy. So if he got some strong sperm, his shit gonna come up. So now it ain't gonna be nothing cause that ain't your 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 DNA. Your DNA is not gonna be necessarily from your grandmother's side. Cause your grandmother and them gonna go down, but your mama and daddy is 2 different people. Cause that's whose grandmother? That's your mama's relative or your daddy. So whatever side of the family is, you ain't gonna necessarily get that side. You might get your other grandmama's side. See what I'm saying? Because you got 2 grandmamas. And right, but you got your daddy grandmama too. Hey, and you know I ain't lying because you have a baby. You see how them babies be looking? Y'all see how them babies be looking? You have a baby, that baby look just like you. Then you have a baby, that damn baby look like your daddy's uncle. And boy, you look just like your uncle. Your sister, yeah, that sperm and that stuff. Hey, positive queen, that sperm and that stuff, it mixed the way it mixed. It don't mix you don't make the same egg. You don't make the same egg. You don't make the same egg. Sometime a real strong woman, all them babies will look alike. Sometime a real strong man, all his babies will look alike. But sometimes them babies be Mitch-Mac, Paddywhack, give a dog a bone. Man, babies be whatever particular sperm or egg you put together at that time. Because every time you ovulating, you ain't doing the exact same ovulating. Or I'm not making the exact same sperm. I might make some sperm that's heavy on my mama's side, then heavy on my daddy's side. Then if it's heavy on my mama's side, what side of my mama? Her daddy or her mama? So if I have sperm mostly on my mama's side, okay, who on my mama's side? My grandmama or my granddaddy? Because it's 2 sides on her side, it's 4 sides on her side, it's 8 sides on her side. It's a bunch of sides on each side, right? So you say, Fred, what you saying? I'm saying this is reincarnation. So Positive Queen, anybody might come back because it's reincarnation. So when you have sex, you don't know who coming back. Because you somebody, you know, me and you were somebody, we didn't came back. Now I don't know who he is, but you can't control who coming back though. Because I didn't have babies that I just thought it was a baby. And then my grandmama see it and say, he looked just like your great uncle. He looked like my brother. You're like, wait a minute, how I have a baby look like granny brother? Hey, Positive Queen, go around the old people, they'll tell you who that is. Because you got to understand, it's not just having a baby, it's reincarnation. And any of that DNA can reincarnate. So I'm saying we got all that DNA in us. And whoever ready to come back, they coming back. You can have You can have 99 of this DNA and only one of that DNA, but if that's the one coming back, it's coming back. It's coming back to Earth. So we be just reincarnate and you don't got no control who's gonna come back. You know how you can tell, you know, you know who's the clearest sign you don't know who coming back? She answered the question. She answered my question. I was just going to say that. One of the clearest signs that you don't know coming back is them girls. Man, them daughters, who the hell is this? Sometimes with the boys, it's a little bit of a mystery. But boy, who is them girls? Them girls is obvious about reincarnation. Boy, who the hell is you? I tell you, them girls, boy, no, I don't will know who them people be. That's why sometimes the mom and the daughter don't get along. Because she had messed around, had a grandmama. And she wondered why the daughter trying to be so bossy. Because she your grandmama. You know what I'm saying? And you try to let her know, little girl, you is not my boss. And the little girl, like, I feel like I am. Because that's your grandmama that came back. I'm telling you, y'all don't know this well know who them kids is? Boy, you don't be knowing who them kids is. I tell you the worst ones though is when you come back. Boy, when you have you, woo, because you know you ain't listening to you. When if Kathy had Kathy, she gonna have to spank little Kathy, because little Kathy not trying to hear nothing that big Kathy talking about. You know what I'm saying? God, that good. And so once you figure that out, you're like, oh, okay. You don't know who the hell them people is. But what's crazy is when you have kids, now this is crazy. If you get around all four grandparents, they know who them kids is. But you gotta be around all four. If you could be around your mama's daddy and mama and your daddy's daddy and mama, they could tell you who each one of your kids is. Now they know exactly who them is because they was old enough to know them old people. And they know who your kids is. Like your grandparents, they know who your kids is. You might not know because they might be somebody that you was little when they was here. But your grandparents know. Your grandparents be like, that ain't nothing but my sister Janie. Your grandmama tell your daughter's her sister. She act just like Janie ass. We don't know who you is because you might be too old. We don't know. But the grandparents can tell you this, that's him. That's my Uncle Jed right there. Ain't it? And then if you go to a family union, they'll all agree, right? They'll be like the old people. They'll be like, that's Uncle Raymond right there, ain't it? Ain't nothing but him. They said ain't nothing but him. God, act just like him. That's what they tell you. Yeah, they know who that is. We don't know because they some old people. We might not remember. But I tell you something, boy, when you're a boy and you had your mama and your wife had your mama, boy, oh boy. Hey, man, you ever had a daughter and you just keep giving her a break? Because that's your mama back. That's your mama back. You ever had a daughter and she just super bossy? I always try to tell you what to do. Don't listen. Get mad like she your wife. Y'all ever had a wife daughter? You cannot raise tail. You can always tell because the girls, You can't even like they'll shut down. Y'all ever notice the girls are shut down on your ass? You can't even you can't even spank them and make them get in line. Hey, some girls they not getting in, they not changing. Period. They not changing. And ladies, you know how your husband shut down sometimes? He don't want to communicate and shit. Tell me your son. Tell me you don't have a son like that. You can have a son like your husband. He just shut down. You be like, do you hear me, boy? Yeah. Sometime when you come back, sometime when your wife have you be getting on her nerve twice. She look at your son, she look at you. I can't stand neither one of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you're a man, you come back, and now your wife got to deal with you and him. And boy, she can't stand neither one of y'all. She can't stand that boy. I mean, she love him, but she can't stand you, and she cannot stand him, and he act just like you, and you can't do nothing with him because shit, he act just like you. Boy, you know how hard it is to raise yourself, especially if you was hard headed like me. Oh, if they got the same name, Lord have mercy. Sometimes when they got the same name, that really be him. The daddy kind of know it, but the grandparents know who everybody is. The grandparents, the great grandparents, and the great aunts and uncles, they know who they know who they are. Because they know all the old people. They know all the old people. They be like, that ain't nothing but Uncle Jed. Ain't that Uncle Jed? Just like him. Looked like he could have spit him out. It looked like Jed spit that baby right on now. They'll skip it. For real. They know exactly who it is. You ever had your mama, you ever had your daughter, and you try to tell your daughter something, she be in a certain kind of way, and your mama say, she ain't gonna listen. And you wonder why you ain't really getting mad, she acting like that. Your mama know who that is. Boy, that's all you getting out of her, out of that one. They call him that one. Y'all ever heard him say that? Oh, you waste your time with that one. You ever heard they say, what the hell you mean that one? They know something they not telling you. Oh, you waste your time with that one, with him. He ain't gonna listen. He ain't, you be wondering where this boy come from. We be bringing them people back. If they might be anybody, and they might have anybody DNA. So you ain't necessarily positive. Ain't no telling where your DNA came from. Because like that egg put DNA together. It be grabbing stuff off the shelf. Like it's cooking, right? So when you get ready to have sex and you be ovulating, your body be cooking. It be like, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of Aunt Gladys. I don't want no. I don't want James. Don't put no James in there. Put this in there. Put that in there. When they take your DNA, it ain't gonna really show everything. It's gonna show the DNA that you chose to make that egg. It's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna put all that DNA in there. That's why we be so unique. Because if every baby we had and put all the DNA, all the babies would be the same. But them babies be, hey, you know I ain't lying. Y'all got twins? Because I raised some twins. Twins only be like 1 out of 100. Am I lying? One twin way over there, and one twin way over there. When we grew up, we called it the nice one and the mean one. Every now and then they be identical, every blue moon. But a lot of times, boy, oh boy, they ain't nothing I like. Now, how you had sex and had two different people? Because the DNA and the egg be doing its own thing. Your aunt, your cousin, yep. So DNA, I don't believe it's 100% accurate. It's based on the DNA that day. If you take my DNA today, it might be accurate, but when I make sperm, it ain't gonna put all that in there. You know, my sperm is not gonna put all that stuff in that DNA in there. It might take some from the back and move it up. Like my DNA, this the strongest, and this one, this one, this one, this one, and this the least one. Man, it might take the least one and mix it with my woman's middle one. That's why people be so unique like that. That be some real magic. When you have a baby, you be introduced to somebody. Y'all ain't never noticed that? You be introduced to them. And they don't never change from the time they like start talking at 2 years old. That's what you got. It's not. That's it. That's what you got. This is what you got. My youngest daughter, she protested as a baby. Who do that? Who 2, 3, 4 years old be protesting over anything? She watching TV, she want the light out. She just don't be like, Daddy, turn the light off. She turn it off. Turn it off. Start jumping on the bed. Now, what kind of baby is that? That's protesting for you to turn the light off. Real talk. She was protesting. She been protesting as a baby. She a protest. She always get away too. She always get away because she protesting. You can't go as long as her. She can go longer than you. Hey, dudes, you ever met a wife that a protester? She can go longer than you. You have to give in. It ain't the weak. You just don't protest that long. You beat and quit already. She still be like, no, don't touch me. For a long time. For a long time. She could be mad as long as you want to do this. They always win. I can't stay mad long. So when I get with a protester, they always gonna win because I can't stay mad that damn long. But they can stay mad as long as the people that protested the bus for MLK, they didn't get on the bus for a year. You can't beat no wife like that. You can't beat her. You might as well give in. Because she is, some wives, you can see them soften up. Some of them, and boy, when you have a kid like that, boy, oh boy, if you have a kid you ever had a daughter and a wife like that? I had, oh God, that's the worst. Oh my God. Have you ever had a wife that stand on her square and a daughter and they get into it and ain't nobody finna give in? Oh my God. They just never get in. They just stay that way. They never give in. I think it just fades out, because nobody never capitulates. You ever had a stubborn woman and she can't beat her daughter? Like she can out stubborn you, but she can't out stubborn the baby. The baby is with it. My mother used to concede to my sister because my sister go too hard. She'd be like, okay, this is too much. You couldn't buy my sister no dress she don't want. Hell, if she don't want it, my mama can't buy it. She finna fall out. She finna holler in the store, and she don't want it. And if you buy it, she gonna cry all the way home. I swear to God, and gonna stay mad. That mad not going away. It might simmer down until you try to get her to put that dress back on. She ain't putting that on. She already told you she don't want it. And there ain't nothing mommy can do about it. And my mother used to have to give in sometimes because she in the store hollering and screaming. She don't want that one. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. When they don't want it, they don't want it. You got to give in. And then the husband that you did kind of, and he always act like whatever, distant. You ever had him and a son like that? Jesus Christ. And he don't never really agree to chill, and he's really not, but he don't really say nothing. He don't want to talk. He just like his daddy. Oh my God. He not folded, but he not gonna tell you. He not gonna tell you he not folded. Then you got the other boy. He like, okay, mommy, he don't care. If you insist, he like, all right. But you got the other son. He ain't gonna never say, all right. He told you he don't want them pads. You buy them. Kind of like me. I told my mom I don't want them, and she buy them, and I just don't say nothing. I told her 3 times I don't want them. Or she buy them anyway. I'm thinking, I ain't gonna wear them. You know what I'm saying? And sure enough, when I get home, I throw them in the back of the closet, and I'll never wear them. And then sometimes she would get up and when them pants I bought you, she would take them out, lay them out, and I'll put them on, and she'd go to work, and I'd take them back off, and throw them back in the back of the closet, and put on what I want to put on. I ain't trying to hear nothing she talking about. I done told you I don't want them. And there ain't nothing she could do to make me wear them. Yeah, if she try to force me to wear them, I'm going to have another pair in the backpack. I'm still going to change them. So eventually she left me alone and let me get what I'm going to get. Because you wasting money, lady. I told you. I'm not wearing them. Ever. No, I ain't finna wear them. I told her I ain't finna wear them. I got a reputation to uphold. Yeah, you like them. And so DNA is powerful. So your DNA might read any kind of way. And it'll switch up with the babies. And then there's 2 of y'all having babies. And then y'all come from 4 parents. And they come from 8. So your body could pull up any DNA at any time and make any kind of person. And it could move DNA up. Scientists ain't picked that part yet. If this your highest, my highest DNA is Sue. When I have a baby, don't mean that baby gonna get that as that highest DNA. That baby might be getting something else as their highest DNA. Because that sperm gonna put it together. The sperm is not like, and the egg is not automatic. It's manufactured. And it ain't manufactured the same way all the time. It's going to put whatever part of you it want to put in there. It could take the weakest part of you and make it the main part. It might pick a grandmama or uncle. It might take a great granddaddy and say, we're going to use this. it's really magic. Sex is reincarnation, it's cloning, it's heavy. You be having some more people, so take care of them and guide them because they got a purpose. You raising your ancestors, which is crazy. You be raising your ancestors. And then you have a grandbaby, you just look at it. You don't know who these people is. You know what I'm saying? Who is these people? Hey, somebody from the past that you done brought back with, and that's altered a little bit, you know? Like your daddy will come back with a little bit of her auntie. It be heavy, boy. Children be heavy. You be making like new creatures, like the same, like new and improved. It's deep. It really is. You ain't long as Derek, as long as you stand on them, be a good father, don't tolerate no foolishness, they ain't gonna get out of line. As long as you don't tolerate it, they ain't gonna never go but so far. As long as you stand on them, as long as you stand on them, don't tolerate them, and keep them away from bad influences, you good. They ain't gonna never go too far from the tree. Even if they get in a little bit of trouble, they gonna get out of it and straighten it out because they not made like that. You had a young picture of your father, everybody thought it was your son. Exactly. Exactly. It's really it's magical. You know what I'm saying? Sex is magical, birth is magical. The whole process is one of the greatest things you can ever do in your life. Is bring some children into the world. If you put some energy into them, it's the best investment. You know what I mean? He act like him too. Yeah, it's total magic. It's a good investment too. It's a good investment. You can have a son, and that son have you a granddaughter, and she be rich. You be in your 60s, a millionaire, because of the grandbaby. Oh my soul, it's one of the best investments ever. Really is. All that DNA come back. You'll see foundational black Americans. What make us unique is out of black people, we got the most diverse DNA. And I'm gonna tell you this part, then I'm gonna move on. See, it was just people. And then when the Tower of Babel fell and it cracked the core of the earth and all of the continents floated over so many thousands and millions of years, people turned different races and stuff. But they all still come from one. Ain't no difference between a white man and a polar bear. He only white because of the area he floated into. Now, so that means all them people spread and they start creating different groups of people. Asians, Europe, whites, like that. Eventually, as it was in the beginning, it'll be in the end. Guess which people is bringing all the DNA back together? Foundation of Black Americans. Real tough. We had taken it back to the beginning. Because if you look at Africans, Africans ain't getting to be around no different kind of people. You in Nigeria, you're just going to be surrounded by Nigerians. But if you're a black man in America, you're gonna be around Asians, Hispanics, whites, the whole world. So when we had these babies be original man and woman for real. Because I had a brother ask me, say, so Pharaoh, if your daughter married a white man and got pregnant, you would be cool with that? I said, I don't care because all she gonna do is have some babies, and one of them babies gonna fuck with a black person and turn them back brown anyway. They gonna turn them back black brown, no matter what. Ain't no escaping. And she can have a daughter by a white man, and then that daughter marry a black man, and then them kids mess with some black people, they done turn back niggas. You can't get away. You know what I'm saying? Plus, interracial mixing is healthy because when you mix with the same race, you start having deformities. Because if you mix with the same race too much, you have a sex with a family member too close, and that DNA got to spread out. You can't keep having sex with the same DNA. This is why white people start having all these problems with these kids because they just was trying to white and white and white and get to the point you sleeping with your sister. They got to go out here and get and mix with some other people. Every time somebody from your race mix with somebody and come back with the race, it make the bloodline stronger. Ain't no black conscious people gonna tell you that because they ain't on my level. You be at that level, then you got to grow. It's some more growth after that. So every time you bring some fresh DNA back, that helps the race. Stop you from having sex with a close relative. Facts. That's absolute facts. Because if you can't have sex too close, you got to spread it out. That's how you was made. You got to spread that DNA out. When they was doing that blue blood stuff and they was trying to keep it in the family, they started having messed up babies. Do your research. When the British and them tried to do that blue blood and keep it in, they started having messed up babies. Some will start being wrong with the babies because, bro, it ain't meant for you to keep mixing that same exact DNA like that. It gonna come out messed up. They don't be knowing they don't be on no science. They be on some racial shit. They don't be on no science. They think everything's separate, but everything used to be together. It used to just be a bear. It wasn't no grizzly bear, brown bear, polar bear. It was just a bear. And when the plate of the earth cracked and everything floated, this bear turned white, this bear turned brown, beige, black, like that. You start having different species as they move to different climates, as the continents float to different climates. That's how you got all the different races and shit like that. From the Pangea, remember? God say y'all tripping. I got to split y'all up. It's right there in the Bible, but people don't look at the Bible scientifically. Right there in the Bible, they tried to build a tower to heaven, and God said, y'all tripping. I got to split y'all up. So what happened? It fell. Okay, when it fell, what happened? Because it said, I got to split y'all up, and y'all going to speak different languages. So when the Tower of Babel fell, what happened? It cracked the Pangea, and everybody end up floating apart. And over so many years, this one got darker, this one did this one that, this one that. After so long, just like what it said, they gonna be speaking what? Different languages. Tell me that ain't what it say in the Bible. I'm gonna split y'all up and y'all gonna speak different languages. So as it was in the beginning, it be back in the end. So guess what? Now it's gonna come back together. Everybody gonna be speaking what we call English, which is Babel. The English we speaking is what they spoke in the Tower of Babel. Everybody gonna be speaking English in the whole world. Prove, show me why I'm wrong. It's already happening. So I'm finna mix back together, big old, you know what I'm saying? Couple generations down, they ain't gonna do none of this weird old shit people doing now. They ain't trying to hear that. A man gonna marry any woman love him. He a Chinese man and he in love with a Brazilian woman, he gonna marry. Whoever love, they gonna be getting married. They ain't gonna go by none of this old weirdo stuff. Their future generation, they ain't listening to none of this shit no more. Whoever love, whoever, they gonna be together. They ain't gonna be doing race. They ain't gonna be doing none of that. They ain't gonna be gay either, cause that's gonna fail. They ain't gonna be gay, cause they gonna realize that we keep being gay, ain't gonna be no, we ain't gonna be here. You can't survive gay. They gonna be like, listen, we gonna have to have some more babies. We ain't got nobody to pick these trees up. The wind and knocked all these trees up, but we ain't got no kids. Once they realize you got to have kids to survive, you got to have people to survive, they'll be like, listen, we need some people. You can't survive if you ain't got no people. How you going to survive? And they going to get sick. The ladies will be all right, but the men that's doing, the LGBT, they going to all get sick. Yeah, they going to, come on, bro. There's a sign right there that say exit only, bro. That's not an interest. You know what I'm saying? You gotta find out. Hey, I ain't hating on you. Do your thing, but that's a interest. I don't know who told you it was that. Now they saying they gonna make it so a man can get his own self pregnant. You know that ain't gonna work. They're gonna make it where a woman can get her own self pregnant and a man they can take their DNA and have it. I'd be scared. I wouldn't want to do that because I feel like if I took my DNA and did something to have a baby, it gonna have two heads. That baby gonna come out gonna have two pharaoh heads. Cause I'm doing too much. You know what I'm saying? And God be like, you said you wanted to come back twice. Yeah, I mean, they doing too much. I'm spooky, so I feel like I mess around, man. If I put my sperm back in me, so God will have a baby, it's gonna come out with two heads. God be like, I thought you wanted to come back twice. And I come back and have a baby, and like it's hard for me to get this baby out. Doc, they get out. The baby have 4 arms, 4 legs, and 2 heads. I got to get a cesarean. They got to cut me open, whatever they call that stuff, to have this new baby I had. Now I got a baby got 2 heads and 4 arms and 4 legs. Well, I done put my own sperm back up in me, trying to have a magical baby, and end up having a mess. Straight up, have a doggone 2-headed pharaoh baby with 4 legs. They like, push, push. We got to cut you open. They cut me open. They said the head coming out. Then 2 heads pop out. They look just like me when I was a baby. It's like, you didn't have 2 of them, but they stuck together. We can't get it out. When they pull it out, I got 4 legs, 4 arms. And I can see God in heaven. I can see God in heaven. See, you should have did it the way I told you to do it. Now take your little four-legged, two-headed baby and sit your ass. I bet you'll stop now. You know what I'm saying? It's like your grandmama. When your grandmama say, "Stop running," you running. Stop running, you running. Stop running, you hit your head. What your grandmama say? Boo. Your grandma say, I just a hot head lead to a something bad. I told you stop running. Come here. Come here, let me put something on it. Come on, let me put something on it. She get your head and patch it up. You be like, I told you stop running, Rip. I bet you go set your ass down somewhere now. You know what I'm saying? These young people, y'all need to get raised by our grandparents. When you don't listen, something happen, they rub it in. All right, y'all, I'm out. Stay positive. Don't be beefing with the Africans, but man, I can't believe that lady over in Africa disrespecting like that. The Africans, even though I can't stand them, bad things gonna happen to the Africans. They just too negative. Victory.